One phone call from Enrique Iglesias changed everything. Let me tell you about my friend Tom, probably best known as Matoma for you, the day he received a phone call from the superstar Enrique Iglesias. Tom was 24 years old, loved mixing music with his computer, and had just released a remix of the Notorious B.I.G. hit Old Things Black. The remix had charted all over Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, and even on the other side of the globe in New Zealand. The phone call from Enrique changed everything. This kickstarted his journey to stardom, from being a teacher student to living a jet-set life with money, sex, drugs, and crazy fans. The next few minutes, I will share this story of his life scene from my perspective as a friend of Tom. Haven't you heard about Tom or Matoma? Let's start with sharing some facts. He's recognized as one of the world's best DJs. His concert is sold out wherever he plays. His music has been streamed more than 2 billion times. He's a music producer, worked with world-famous artists like Jennifer Lopez, One Direction, Michael Bolton, Eminem, Ruben, and Snoop Dogg. Let me take you to Flisa, a really small place in Norway. There lives approximately 1,000 people there. This is the place Tom grew up. If you're a kid in Flisa, you have typical 2 choices. You can play football, or you can let your computer entertain you. Tom always loved music from an early age. His family had some musical roots, but nothing suggesting a predestined career. His uncle played the drums in a local band that performed a Norwegian version of country music. His mother, Anne, played a bit of the trombone. His older brother, Dan, was constantly experimenting with new instruments and different styles of music. The younger brother followed in his wake, first trying the guitar and then the keyboards, even having been eventually discarded by Dan. I remember Tom saying to me, "I want to be just like my brother." Luckily for him, Tom didn't become an engineer like his brother. Okay, before we continue with this story, let me tell you a juicy story from one of his first concerts in America. Tom's quite shy, and he became shocked over the female attention he got. At one of his first backstage parties, 2 half-naked girls tried to drag him into a bedroom. Just imagine what they wanted to do with him. These girls that look like models from a Playboy magazine was truly surprised because Tom broke free from their arms and left the party in a hurry. This was too much for him. Half-naked Playboy models that wanted to entertain him? That's too much for a shy Norwegian. But a lot's happened since then, so let's get back to how he became a superstar. There are not many people in the world that has a natural ear for music, but Tom has. This story I remember from our childhood. At school, there was a piano teacher who played the famous Beethoven's Feuerlies. The piano teacher took a break, and Tom took his place, and without knowing any notes, he played Feuerlies without any mistakes. The teacher suggested that Tom should take up the piano, and he listened, because soon Tom was playing for the Norwegian National Youth Orchestra, playing in 4 or 5 hours of practice a day for close to 8 years. The journey ended as unexpectedly as it began, though. Suddenly, he didn't want to play anymore. He said in interviews, "I practiced too much, so I got bored, and I got tired." The joy with making music survived, and Tom bought a laptop and started to remix music. He started releasing his remixes of songs on SoundCloud while he was studying to become a school teacher. On his 23rd birthday, he released a remix that got big attention. And in 2014, he released his first hit with a remix of Old Things Black from Notorious B.I.G. Have you ever wondered, why Matoma? Well, that's a funny story. His first artist name was Subhero. He doesn't like it much when I mention this today. At a party, Tom and Dan, his older brother, started arguing about Tom's artist's name. The discussion between them got more and more heated. Tom said to Dan, "Can't you take life easy? Hakuna Matata," from The Lion King. Dan had a little much to drink, so he thought Tom had said Hakuna Matoma, and then it was done. Tom called himself Matoma. Tom has always looked up to Dan, and Dan being the most extrovert of the brothers, Dan has always acted on behalf of Tom. When Tom first got recognized as an up-and-coming artist, phone calls from potential managers started emerging. Tom was too shy to talk to them himself, so he let Dan talk for him. Tom did pay close attention to what Dan said in the conversations. He thought Dan acted totally unprofessional and that he scared away potential managers. He punched his brother in the stomach and stormed out of the room. Little did he know that Dan hadn't scared them off, and manager offers found its way to the boys all the time. One should think that Tom signed at once, but he used 3 months before he decided to sign a contract. At that time, Tom was studying music. I guess you didn't know he has an academic with a degree in music technology from the Norwegian University of Science and Technology. Not surprising, he left his studies and went on tour in America. The tour became a great success, despite his bad experiences from backstage parties. After some years, he found a girlfriend, Maren, who is a normal girl from a little town in Norway named Tonsberg. They are very close, and she has traveled with him to many of his concerts the latest years. Thank God he doesn't have to get harassed by American girls anymore. Well, we all know that probably isn't true. In an interview, Tom talks about his girlfriend, Maren. I think you meet your soulmate once in a lifetime, that you have a contact with a person that makes you find yourself in that person. Tom is clearly happy, and his career is blooming. Tom has kept on releasing remixes that has performed great. He's worked together with One Direction, Coldplay, Snoop Dogg, Jason Derulo, Jennifer Lopez, Dua Lipa, Sean Paul, among others. He also travels the world performing at festivals and holding his own concerts. He has been a regular at the Coachella Festival. Coachella is a giant annual music festival in Indio, California. The festival has grown tremendously since its first year in 1999. This year, he did a stunt to support Ukraine in the war against Russia. He bought a series of billboards to raise awareness and funds for Ukraine. The billboards did appear on the highway leading to and from the festival ground. What a guy. I'm proud of him. This week, it was announced that he will be performing at the 24th Nobel Peace Prize concert in Oslo. Tom joins an elite group of artists who have performed at the concert over the years, including Paul McCartney, Alicia Keys, Rihanna, Sting, Andrea Bocelli, Tina Turner, Ellie Goulding, Kygo, Aha, and many others. Tom hasn't changed from the kid I grew up with at Flisa. He's still that shy musical wonder child that I learned to love. He truly loves music, and if you are from Norway, you will have seen him crying on television many times in his role as a judge for the Norwegian edition of The Voice. He earns tons of money, he meets all these celebrities, he's found his soulmate in life. He does exactly what he loves by creating and playing music. Could life become any better for Tom? I don't know. What do you think? Please leave a comment if you enjoyed this story. Do check out our story about Nora that was a school dropout at the age of 12 and became a multimillionaire by the age of 16. That was all for now, and I hope to see you in the next one.